YouTube Oziko in the Goat House is back. We're going to go over some of the standout signings of free agency, best fit signings, best sleeper signings, impact, upside, maybe some signings that are better than you think, and then, yeah, some of the signings I don't love, the riskiest signings of free agency. So it's in a way, it's a winners and losers video here, so really excited about it. We have a playlist full of signing grades here on the channel from past signings, so check that out. We also have a spreadsheet with all the signings and grades, link pinned in the comments for that. But full NFL coverage here, NFL draft content right around the corner. Will be live during day one of the NFL draft. Cannot wait, my favorite time of the year. So if you can join us, like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Very important to follow our Twitter. Always talking with you guys, live news, rumors, updates. Links pinned in the comments for that. Our Discord, GLD Shop, which I'm wearing their Chiefs chain right now. Liquid IV, they have a new flavor. Walk the Mock, very cool mock draft simulator. So we have codes for all those sites. Check it out. Starting with, in my opinion, the best fit signing of free agency. We'll say so far, some pretty good guys out there. But the best fit signing goes to the Seahawks and Draymond Jones. When I say fit, I'm not just talking about scheme fit as a big one, but I'm talking about need as well. Like what you badly needed to help elevate your defense. Draymond Jones fits right in that. And I always look at the financials too as well, like value for all these. But yeah, Draymond Jones, my favorite fit signing of free agency. They badly needed a 3-4 end. Seahawks transitioned to more of a 3-4 last year. They were playing D tackles out there last year. They add Jones, who some talk about him going to a 4-3 team. I didn't love that talk. So love the fit where he landed. And it's going to elevate, their run defense, which they badly needed, but he's going to get pressure from that spot. And it's going to help those pass rushers they got, like a solid one, Uchenna Nwosu. So it's going to help the defense in so many different ways. And the value was pretty good too. 3-year, 51, just over 51 million. So I thought he might be a candidate to get overpaid, like well over 20 million. So this was a good deal all the way through for the Seattle Seahawks. And the runner-up for best fit signing, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings and Byron Murphy. I mean, the Vikings badly needed a corner more than anybody in football, and they go out and get one of the better ones of free agency, maybe the one with the most upside as well, in a very cheap deal compared to what we thought he would get. But not only does that fill a huge need, but they bring in Brian Flores, defensive coordinator, likes to run a lot of man and some cover three. I think Murphy fits that super well there. So not only exactly what they needed badly, but a great fit. Outside corner, could fill in inside if you need him to as well. This was a really good value for the Minnesota Vikings, big time get. So next, the best instant impact signings, but in a big way. Got to impact the teams in a big way right from the start. I got to go with Orlando Brown Jr. and the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the Bengals have been one of the very best teams in football, just coming up short. And the main reason is offensive line. Joe Burrow getting pressured constantly. And he's still able to work some magic there, which is impressive. And they can't really run block too well either. They haven't been able to have a consistent run game because of the offensive line. So you bring in Orlando Brown Jr., maybe the top available free agent overall after Lamar Jackson, and just a major upgrade at left tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals here. And a pretty good deal, too. The signing bonus was a record-breaking deal, but it's going to help their pass protection. And big time where it's going to help is the running game, because he sure can run block as well. So that'll get maybe Joe Mixon and company going there. So this could make the Bengals even more of a contender because of this signing. So that's why it is the best impact signing in my opinion. In the runner-up, this was a good one too. Javon Hargrave going to the 49ers. It is a little rich. 4-year, $84 million. He's a big-time player, so he's worth it. Not going to say he's not worth it, but it was a little bit rich. But at the same time, I mean, the Niners had the best defense in football last year, but they actually were missing something pretty big, and we saw that in the Eagles game. And it was the defensive tackle spot. They have pretty much everything besides that. And they got a big-time defensive tackle from the Eagles here in Javon Hargrave. So no more holes on that San Francisco 49er defense. So that is an absolute big-time impact signing right in week one and throughout the season for a contending team here. For the best upside signing, I'm going to go with Jawan Taylor, the tackle from the Jags, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is a guy that was very high on in Florida coming out of the draft. And he's had his ups and downs so far. He had a pretty good year last year, but we know this guy's still getting going. He has a ton of upside. And what a place for him to reach it, too. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, a perfect fit because he's a pass blocker first, and they get the most out of their players, obviously, especially from the offensive line. Brought in some young guys over the last couple of years, and really got the most out of them. It's a little bit expensive deal, but they see his upside there. They're going to put him at left tackle. He actually is he as good as Orlando Brown? Not yet, but he actually fits a little bit better. So I'm trusting him with the Kansas City Chiefs. He is going to reach that upside and then possibly be one of the better left tackles in football. So that is why they paid him that much. And the runner-up is going to be Tremaine Edmunds going to the Chicago Bears. This was another big-time prospect for me when he was coming out of Virginia Tech. I saw, he might be a little raw at first, but so much upside, a freaky dude. And he's been getting better and better, especially last year. Got a little bit better in terms of his coverage, obviously. We know he can fly around and stop the run and hit the ball carrier quite a bit. But he goes to the Chicago Bears, who is they're kind of an upside team. They're rebuilding. So, and I think he'll fit Matt Eberflus's defense pretty well. So, we talk about when we get, in the middle of this contract, we could start really seeing Edmunds, just like Jawan Taylor, really pick it up and get going here and maybe become, one of the more, one of the better linebackers in football. He was in the same draft class as Roquan Smith, actually, and the evaluations on those two guys back, prospect evaluations back then was Roquan Smith's more pro ready. Edmunds has more upside. So can they get that upside here? And then maybe he becomes better than Roquan Smith ? There. So, a lot of hope for the future here for Edmunds. Bears still building there. Next up, favorite sleeper sign. He's going to go Samaje Perine going to the Broncos. Perine was a stud last year. And I say it all the time. Mixon's a more talented running back, but when they both, got the opportunity to, play, or when Perine had to fill in for Mixon, he actually looked better than Mixon. Not that he is better, but he looked better than Mixon last year. So it's an underrated big-time running back here for the Denver Broncos, and they have Javonte Williams, I'm a huge fan of, but he's got that serious injury where he's going to miss some time next year, so they needed a guy that can come in and start, but they didn't, you can't really pay too much, on that, because you want Javonte Williams to be the guy when he's back. So cheap deal, 2 years, $7.5 million for a guy that can be that starting back. He's underrated all the way across the board, but catching the ball out of the backfield as well and could block. So I like that. He's gonna be their starting running back to start the year. So I think this is a big time sleeper running back or sleeper signing that's not really getting talked about a whole lot. And then another one, I'm gonna go Julian Love to the Seahawks. The second time we're talking about the Seahawks. 2 year, $12 million, so it's a pretty cheap deal at $6 million per year. This is an underrated player. This is kind of exactly what the Seahawks could use too, because this guy can play everywhere in the secondary. Probably start, mainly playing in that slot role. But if they ever, they got some good young corners, but they don't have the best depth maybe. So if they ever need him to fill out outside, he can do that. But I think more importantly, start maybe in that slot as that slot guy. And then, Jamal Adams has been getting injured, obviously, and he's more that strong safety. So if he gets injured, Love can fill in for him. But sometimes Adams doesn't really play a safety role. Sometimes he's really up. He's almost out in the line of scrimmage sometimes. So you really could have three safeties out there. Diggs in the back end, obviously, and then Adams and Love. So that's why this one is kind of a bigger one than you think. A sleeper guy, but bigger than you think here. So love that one for the Seattle Seahawks. Best re-signings. It was tough leaving. There was three that I really liked. It was tough leaving one off. You got to go Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer is the best re-signing of free agency. 2 year, $12.5 million is a super cheap deal, way cheaper than you expected. It would have been a tough loss for the Bills to lose him because they maybe had the best safety duo in football when him and Hyde are both healthy on the field. And he fits. They like to run their their split safeties out there. So that was big time. Not only get him back, but what you have to factor into best re-signing is the value there. The Bills don't have a ton of spending money. They want to be able to get better, not just stay the same, but get better. So Poyer coming back cheap, especially when we thought he was not coming back that cheap, just big time. And the other one, second time we're talking about the Bengals. The Bengals did lose some guys, but they did do some good things here. Jermaine Pratt, getting him back at 3 years, $20.25 million is a steal of a deal here, especially at 3 years too. And he's a big-time linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's only getting better. I think he has a lot of upside as well. I am shocked that somebody else didn't kill that. Pay him way more than the 3 year, $20.25 million. So that was a fantastic one. It was very, very tough leaving Jonathan Jones and the Patriots off this. It's also a runner-up there. I thought that was a fantastic re-signing. But these, if I had to pick two, these were the top two here. So it's good jobs by those teams. The better than you think signings, Jimmy Garoppolo highlights that. I mean, so many people rip, not even the signing, not just the signing, but just Jimmy Garoppolo in general, because maybe he's been up and down or maybe just not good enough. I think he's actually been pretty consistent, in my opinion. Maybe just not good enough to get over that hump, but pretty accurate quarterback, smart quarterback, gets the job done. He's going to fit. We know he's going to fit Josh McDaniels' offense very well. I mean, Derek Carr, a little more talented than Jimmy Garoppolo, but in terms of the fit and the value, the price, Jimmy Garoppolo beats Derek Carr with the Raiders big time here. So the Raiders will actually be better by having Jimmy Garoppolo. And people rip the signing. 3 years, $72.75 million. It's a lot of money, but quarterback money, it's just, what is it, over 24-ish million per year? Other quarterbacks are killing that, and this is going to be your starting quarterback. And the way it's structured, he's going to be your starting quarterback for 2 years. You can get a guy for the year of the future. You're not locked in with him like super long term. So this is a pretty good signing overall. Fit, getting better, and the value there. So it's definitely a better one than you think. And the other one, I got to go with Dalvin Tomlinson, the Browns' big-time signing, 4 years, $57 million, former Minnesota Vikings defensive tackle. Exactly what the Browns needed. I think people look at this and they go, yeah, it's over $14 million per year. It's a lot of money. I think maybe some people calling this overpay, but he's a very talented D tackle. Had a very good year last year. But like I said, exactly what the Browns needed. They had no interior help. They were struggling to stop the run. That's what Dalvin Tomlinson gets you. He used to play nose tackle, playing more D tackle recently, so can play both. Been getting better and better in terms of getting after the quarterback as well. So this is going to help the whole defense out a ton. This is almost one of the better impact signings as well, believe it or not. So love that one for the Browns. Better than people think. Sneaky good signings. I got to go Samson Ebukam, the Colts' new pass rusher coming from the San Francisco 49ers. I think it's a tremendous fit as well. That's where solid pass rusher, $9 million probably makes sense to people, or $8 million makes sense to people. I think it's a pretty damn good value. It's not crazy steal, but I think, maybe he could have went for 10, 11 million. So it's a pretty good steal, but I love the fit. Gus Bradley's defense as well. He's usually running that Leo defense, which one, you got your 4-3 end pass rusher. The other side has more of a guy that could get creative, stand up, drop in coverage, a little more athletic guy, and that's exactly what Samson Ebukam is, in which exact role he played with the San Francisco 49ers, where he was pretty damn solid. So he's going to fit well. He's going to be productive. He's going to be an impact. They need another pass rusher opposite of Kwity Paye, because they're likely moving on from Ngakoue. So this was a sneaky good signing. We'll stay in the division at the same position at the Tennessee Titans signing Arden Key. I thought he'd get a lot more money than this. I thought he'd be one of the more higher paid pass rushers. I guess the pass rushers didn't get a whole lot, but Titans moved on from Bud Dupree, who was kind of a unique style pass rusher. You bring in Arden Key, who can rush from the inside. More than just the outside, can rush from the inside. It's a pretty good value deal as well. Titans are usually pretty good with the guys they move around a bit. Bud Dupree can move around. Danico Autry's been doing that for them, so the defense will be pretty good with Arden Key. Arden Key will be pretty good in that defense, and he's still getting better. A lot of upside. So that was a sneaky good signing. And then on to the riskiest signings. Ones that I'm not really in love with. I'm not really going to sit here and rip them too much, but it was tough to pick which one is the riskiest out of the two that I'm going to talk about. But I'm going to go Allen Lazard, 4-year, $44 million. Well, first off, that's more than I thought he would get. I thought he would definitely, just because the receiver market was lower than expected too. I thought he would definitely be under 10 million, maybe like a 7 million range, 8, but gets 11 million per year. 4 years, a long time as well. Pretty pricey, long time. He's a good player. He's one of the better blocking receivers in football. He's pretty consistent. We think he's going to be with Aaron Rodgers, who we know he has that chemistry with. But 4 years, but how long is Rodgers going to be around for? Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be more? Is the trade even going to get done too? And he had to have Lazard over there. I would have liked to see, Corey Davis, guys like, they just trade Elijah Moore, guys that they already had. Haven't had the best quarterback play. What would they have been like with Rodgers? Maybe more upside than a guy like Lazard. Did you need to go out and give 4 years and spend all this money? And how long is it going to be with Rodgers? When Rodgers is gone, what kind of Lazard are we going to get? Because he was kind of an undrafted guy not too long ago for a reason maybe, but he is way better than expected. So it is risky for those reasons, not just the money, but other things as well. And the other one, which is also very risky, is going to be Bobby Okereke, the new Giants linebacker coming from the Colts. 4-year, $40 million, so pretty expensive, $10 million per year. But the main reason this is risky is because of fit. I mean, he played with that Colts 4-3 defense. It was 4-3 when, you know, they had Eberflus. It was 4-3 when they had Gus Bradley. And then he's the good news, he has experience in inside and outside whenever he had to fill in. And he's pretty solid in coverage, making plays. Nothing crazy, but in the Giants, Don Martindale's scheme has always stayed the same. It's a pretty good one, but 3-4 defense and their inside linebackers, typically they got to stop the run at a high level and they got to blitz, Okereke is not a big tackles for loss, making big plays in the backfield, but they did need help in terms of coverage. And then he's pretty good in coverage. He can help with that. The only thing is he's coming from like more of playing cover 2 in a 4-3 defense. He's going to play man in a 3-4 defense. It's definitely a different role, and why it is risky, not because of just that, but if there's a position where guys in the past where they've changed their role, their scheme, they haven't really figured it out, it's the linebacker position, where it seems to be the riskiest. So that's why that one is a little scary. But at the end of the day, they did get better. Almost anything was better than what they had there. So they do get better with something like this. It's just, I'm curious to see how it works, and it's a lot of money too, 4-year, $40 million. So those are the signings I wanted to highlight today. Kind of mainly see the winners, not the overall winners of free agency, but with these signings in certain categories. So this is a fun one to do here. So let me know your guys' thoughts. If you want to play along, let me know, comment with your biggest signing in each category with the runner-up, perhaps. That'd be pretty cool to see. We're always talking with you guys on Twitter as well. But that's going to wrap this one up. Go to our channel. Check out those recent videos. We had all kinds of different ones covering the NFL and more to come. NFL draft content right around the corner. We do have a recent mock draft, though, as well. So check it out. Like, subscribe to notifications on any important link that you're looking for. Pin in the comments. It's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.